Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Universities are the places where pebbles of knowledge sprout and the gems of wisdom spread. Today, we are going to meet a person who is not only an intellectual but also a vice chancellor of a university. Today's program is not about his vice chancellorship or his duties about vice chancellor. Today we are going to seek out the new horizons of his personality, and our viewers definitely will come to know about the intellectual aspect of this personality. If I seek this person, I see a long struggle, not only on his part, but also on the part of his family. He belongs to a family who stood side by side with Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah in the struggle of independence. And today, I see that he is working for the stability of this country. Without wasting any time, I welcome all the viewers on sSpeaks channel, and today with my panel is Dr. Ahmad Ali and I, Dr. Muhammad Asif Nadeem. And today the personality with whom I'm going to introduce you is one of the greatest personality of Pakistan, and at an international level people reckon and know him. His work for the National Forum and in defense is recognized, and he is the greatest scientist, the greatest person, none other than Professor Engineer Dr. Athar Maboob. Welcome to this show, sir, and we are highly thankful for your time.
I am thankful too, and it's a great opportunity to be able to speak through your channel to the audience.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, we have a different forum today, and our viewers and we want to know about your personal efforts during your success and about your personality with which you have established your intellect, your philosophy and your ideology. I hope that the viewers and those who will watch these words will definitely learn a lot. Sir, when the university you have taken charge was facing pandemic, what was the basic thought running in your mind at that time when you saw that the university is going to work out in another mode of education? That was a distance education, and the shift was very great, the job was very great, and the job was to fill the knowledge gap and make a continuous feeling for the student, and also to make your colleagues run smoothly. What challenges did you face at the time?
Yes, Dr. Asif, it's a very pertinent question, and it would sound very paradoxical for me to say that the pandemic came to us as a challenge, but more than that as an opportunity, because when I took over as the Vice Chancellor in July 2019, the pandemic was about 6 months away into the future and we didn't know about it. However, I had articulated my vision for the Islamia University of Bahawalpur as a university among the best 100 universities of the world, and considering the best practices in education today, the university or higher education, the online learning mode is an integral part of the educational methodology today. Even for courses which are offered in face-to-face mode, the electronic technologies complement the face-to-face mode and provide students access to learning materials, access to recorded lectures. So when I had articulated my vision for the Islamic University to be in the top 500 and then ultimately in the top 100 universities of the world, I had that time indicated that at least one course each semester would be offered in the online mode. And then when the COVID-19 came, although we had not fully prepared for the online mode, but it came as a blessing in disguise, and we had to very quickly increase our effort multifold and adopt the online learning mode. And so for us, in the hindsight, I would think of it as a blessing, even though at that time the pressure was tremendous, because as you know, at that time Islamic University of Bahawalpur, we had nearly 30,000 full-time on-campus students, and to convert such a large number of students with nearly 6,000 courses being offered on our campuses, our 5 campuses, to convert into online delivery mode, where the learning materials had to be converted into electronic format.
Exactly, that's a big job, big ask.
It was a big challenge, and ensuring some sort of homogeneity across all departments, across all faculties, it was very challenging. But the major asset which helped us during that period was the commitment and dedication of the faculty. And I'm very thankful to the faculty as well as the students, that despite the many shortcomings that we have, the access to high-end computing devices for many students was a problem, the internet availability and the bandwidth which was available, and for the teachers to adopt or adapt or adjust to the new techniques of preparing lectures, like recording the lectures, preparing videos of the lectures. But during that period, I saw many faculty members go beyond the call of duty and undertake a learning exercise whereby they became productive as teachers who would be using electronic technologies to communicate with their student, whether it was the WhatsApp groups, whether it was electronic mail or messages, or the learning management system that we deployed, and the learning bundles, the course bundle system that we came up with to quickly create a repository of the electronic books, notes, lectures and various other learning materials for the students. So in the hindsight, as the COVID-19 is receding as a thing of the past, and as we are moving forward into the new era, so the COVID-19 enabled us to adopt the electronic learning technologies in a fast way, and I'm happy for that, because in the long run it is part of our learning philosophy that learning is a lifelong process. And as the students move away from the physical campus, they move into the working environments, they will keep on learning, taking specialization, additional courses to keep increasing their knowledge. So they remain as productive members of the workforce. The lifelong learning, which has to be inculcated into our students, and electronic or online lectures are here to stay. They will not disappear in the future. They will become part of our learning methodologies that all the students and all the learners and teachers have to adopt.
No doubt, it was a big ask, and the way you and your team, the colleagues, and especially the Directorate of IT have deciphered everything very communicatively, and we saw that it was a very success story. So, sir, another question which is in the mind of our viewers is that as you have entered the number of programs, you have extended them, as well as number of students in all disciplines, the viewers and myself wanted to know what made you to take this initiative. What was the behind force? What was the real thinking?
Yes,
we want to know about that.
Yes, from my own educational experiences in my life, I have studied at the school level in many countries, in France, in the United Kingdom, in Pakistan, and then when I moved for higher education, I spent a greater part, about 8 years, in the United States. But also I had experienced some university experience in the United Kingdom and Germany. So based on the international standards and based on my own view of knowledge as an integrated whole, and not to compartmentalize things to a drastic level, I personally believe that a university should not be focused on only one domain of knowledge. Rather, the university is a place as in its name, it is a university. So like the universe,
Right.
it has
Right.
all
It has
the
all-
disciplines, and
No doubt, sir.
and the learning process also takes the student, the journey of the student should not be just in one faculty or one department. He should move from for different courses from one department to another. So when he or she is taking the science courses, he goes to the science faculty and is influenced by the scientific environment. But when he or she takes a course in humanities or literature or arts, he or she goes to the arts faculty and is influenced by the environment of the arts. And same thing for other applied sciences or computing. So this multifarious experience should shape a more individual in the contemporary world. So the individual should appreciate all the branches of knowledge.
Exactly, sir.
And this will create an individual with a positive mindset who is willing to work with others, willing to appreciate the differences, and integrate the knowledge that he or she learns, and work with others throughout the professional life to deliver to the expectations of the organizations or the community, because the learning process in the university is for a purpose. In my opinion, the purpose is to produce individuals who can become productive members of the economy. So many people would consider it very worldly or mundane to talk about economy and education at the same time. People think of education as a spiritual entity and something which is beyond money, or you cannot put a price tag on education. So
Exactly,
so
not the
while
case.
we do appreciate this particular lofty vision, but on the other hand, we have to see that the human society, every human society, is a society where the social and the economics, they go hand in hand with any
Really,
other
it is the
aspect.
matter.
And the world today, as the world is organized, is a very competitive world. So for a particular country to grab its own fair share in the global market, it has to produce products and services both effectively and efficiently.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the other countries, other producers will take the market share away, and the net result will be a poverty. The poverty of in terms of not only economics, but it would result in a lot of socio-economic problems.
Also intellectual, because if we want to compete with the world, we have to go after those courses, those intellectualities where we can stand with the world. So that is your vision
Exactly,
behind it.
Dr. Asif. I fully agree, because as you know, the quantum or amount of knowledge is continuously growing.
No
So
doubts.
in every age and every era, the societies which contribute more to knowledge, which utilize the knowledge for their social and economic and political purposes, those societies take a leadership role.
That's it. That's what we need.
Yes. So
The
so
need of
as
the hour is that.
as you know, our nation of Pakistan was founded on certain principles where the Muslims of the subcontinent actually felt that they were left behind in the worldly race. The British rulers and the majority community had colluded, and the Muslims felt left behind. And as you know, when Pakistan was created, the areas which came into Pakistan were industrially and educationally and socially and economically the least developed areas of the
Yes.
subcontinent.
Yes, exactly.
So the promise of Pakistan was to put Muslims at a competitive level with the other nations, because we believed that unless we had control of our own resources and our own decision making, our own destiny was in our own control, we would not be given those resources to develop and compete in a fair way. So the partition of the subcontinent by the majority desire of the Muslims was meant for the Muslims to be able to get control of their resources, so they could then make a plan to develop their nation and gain respect and a proper place in the community, in the world community. So we cannot fulfill the vision of Pakistan unless our universities produce people, the intellectual or human capital of a high level. And I feel that it's a great opportunity that I got in many universities. For last 26 years I have been working. This is my 6th university, but in every university I went, I was working for the development of my department, my university, the academic programs, the engagement with the industry, because I saw the educational system of the United States and I saw it as a progressive and a dynamic and a vibrant philosophy. and that is the university system of the US explains their leadership position for nearly last 100 years in the world. So, and they are very proud of it, and I studied there for 8 years. I saw the good points that they were following, and I felt that it is not just the US or any developed countries at this time or age in the world, but in every time and every age, the nations which adopt these principles are the nations that lead. So when I came back from the US after studying for 8 years over there in 1996, so I had done my bachelor's and my master's degrees in electrical engineering, and I was exposed to that system. So I joined the Pakistani academia, and I've always tried to be part of a process of change and development. Wow. And I found in every institution people, I've been able to form teams, worked as part of the team. In many situations I had to lead the teams, and I have felt that our nation has all the potential. Our people, our original human capital can be polished or developed. Like we have the philosophy that a diamond, it gains its value after it has been polished and sharpened.
Polished, yeah, exactly.
So same way our human capital has all the potential to be the human diamonds. And same thing if we talk in the sense of gold. We believe that gold in its pure form has to be first melted, and it has to undergo a process, and then it is in its purest form, and it is of high value. So same thing for human beings, that our human capital is no less capable than any other human capital in the world. But then the things that we lacked or we find ourselves lacking, we have to inculcate those in our individuals. And so my journey through various academic institutions have always given me confidence that if we empower our team members and we work collectively as teams with that spirit and with an open mind, and our eyes set on our objective and vision of making Pakistan a great country, we can develop our universities, our individuals can come together, develop academic programs of high value, align our academic programs with the needs of the local community as well as the national and international requirements, and ultimately result in socio-economic gains to the community.
It's a very beautiful talk, and I see the lofty aims out of this talk, that we are going to make our learners, our students, a gem and yes, really a gold. So this is the very outset of your vision and your philosophy.
Exactly.
So it's a very beautiful way you have treated the entire philosophy and vision of yours. Yes. I really appreciate this.
Yes,
sir, please.
No doubt, inna malus yusra.
Yes.
There is a easiness after a difficult time, hard time. One thing in a viewer mind, one question mostly they want to ask from you, that when commonly it is considered, when you increase the quantity, the quality is degraded, as we have increased the number of students in our university. But what strategies we have to maintain the quality of the students, that they will be able to maintain and gain the socio-economic status and values?
Exactly. It's a very valid question. But I would like to put things in a proper context. So if you look at the context of the things, Pakistan is the 5th largest country of the world population wise. So we have a lot of human resource. So the scale of things, or the scale of the challenge we have, is not that we have a small country with just a requirement for a few people. We have the 5th largest country, which in next 10 or 15 years might become the 4th most populous country in the world. So our scale of operation is not the tiny scale. Maybe when Pakistan was created in 1947, the population was lesser, so we needed fewer numbers of people. But the world over now, the trend is that more and more people need higher and higher qualifications to be operating at the right level of skills and knowledge, which is required in the knowledge economy. So we are operating in the knowledge economy. Now in the knowledge economy, many changes have happened. Now it is not just a brick and mortar university and a brick and mortar economy, and the class size is not limited to 30 or 40 or 50 students. one person can have effect on literally hundreds of students by using technology appropriately. So while I do agree with the concept that quality should be foremost, so we cannot compromise quality at any stage. So even though we have to produce large number of students, but producing large number of low quality students is not of help to anyone. So I agree with this principle. Having said that, I believe that the challenge of producing large number of quality individuals is not an impossible challenge. I believe that I would not say as an individual, but as a team of faculty and academic administrators, our institutions, especially the institutions where I have been part, I believe that those teams can be motivated to achieve large quantities of output in terms of human individuals while maintaining extremely good quality. So how do we do it? So that is the question, that what is the recipe, what is the formula? So the formula, in my opinion, as I have been able to practice, is to adopt technology for scaling up. So it is important that we re-engineer our processes. So admissions process, so the assignment of courses, so development of curriculum and delivery of lectures and assessment. In every process, we streamline the process by using technology. We provide ease of access to learning materials. We engage students in activities, both physical and online activities, and by engaging them and by then assessing them appropriately, identify where the students are let's say lagging or falling behind, and the teacher could focus on that, and whatever a teacher is doing in the classroom and overall in his or her course should be visible or auditable through the hierarchy of the academic administration. So we have built into the system visibility and points, checkpoints, whether enough learning materials are being given, whether the course curriculum is being followed, whether the assessments are being done on time and feedback is being provided, whether we are getting feedback from the students and transferring it to the faculty so they can revise their policy or strategy as they are engaging with the students. And so we have to give opportunities and invest money. So if we have a large number of students, so we should then have a policy of decentralization. We should empower our deans of the faculties and the chairpersons and give them resources so they could conduct their activities, give them the necessary budget so they could have the activities. So every student gets to participate in activities, and we have no compromise on the quality of education. Overall, the learning experience and the educational and the university life experience should improve rather than decrease as we scale up.
So it's very, very nice talk with you, and hopefully we will be visiting you and taking your opinions on this intellectual page, and especially the talk which you have delivered will help our audience and our viewers. So we take a leave from you. Thank you very much for your time, and inshallah we will be meeting soon with the series of all these lectures on ZAK Speaks, inshallah. Thank you very much, sir.
Most welcome.